You're listening to Puma Podcast.
If you have a female dog and a male dog, anybody can do backyard breeding and nakikita natin to. And they're not even, paying the proper taxes for that. And kahit na magkapon ang mga animal welfare groups, it's never gonna keep up kung yung breeding is not regulated.
Filipinos are known pet lovers, with 64% of Filipino households owning pets, based on a 2023 Social Weather Stations poll, and 78% of pet owners have dogs. Meanwhile, according to a survey by market research firm Kantar Philippines, dogs account for 68% of household pets, with popular breeds including Labrador Retrievers, Doberman Pinschers, German Shepherds, Shih Tzus, and Golden Retrievers. Despite this, not all dogs are treated equally. In September 2024, a pet friendly restaurant drew backlash after rejecting a customer who brought her Aspen, or Asong Pinoy, named Yoda. The restaurant has since apologized and said it would revisit its pet policies. This highlights another issue: the preference for purebreds over Aspens. According to the Philippine Animal Welfare Society, or PAWS, would-be pet owners often favor purebred cats and dogs, leaving thousands of Aspens and mixed breed pets in shelters or in the streets. Hundreds of dogs and cats are in shelters, and an estimated 12 million stray dogs roam the Philippines, PAWS said. Clearly, the country is facing a serious pet overpopulation crisis. To address this, animal welfare advocates are calling for the implementation of strict breeding regulations. I'm Jun Garcia, and you're listening to Teka Teka, powered by Puma Podcast.
We are against breeding of dogs or any animals for that matter. Why? Because there are so many homeless dogs and even cats all over the world, not just in the Philippines, di ba? So why do we need to breed dogs when there are so many homeless dogs that are waiting to be, to be adopted? Dogs that are waiting to be rescued. So our campaign is adopt, don't shop. So we tell people we advocate for adoption versus buying of dogs. And when it comes to breeding and yung breeding laws in the Philippines, I mean anyone can tell the obvious na it's very lenient, na halos non-existent.
That's Jonna Sevilla, a campaigner at the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals Asia, or PETA Asia. In the Philippines, the Animal Welfare Act states that no person, association, partnership, corporation, slaughterhouses, or any government agency will operate any pet shop, veterinary clinic, or hospital zoo to breed animals without securing a certificate of registration from the Bureau of Animal Industry. The Philippine Canine Club Incorporated, or PCCI, is a non-profit organization that also offers the registration of purebred dogs in the country to promote responsible breeding practices. According to its regulations, it will only accept for registration a litter or live birth of multiple dog offsprings from a dam or a female dog parent aged between 8 months and 10 years, and a sire, or a male dog parent aged between 8 months and 12 years old. This is to ensure the health and reproductive safety of the dogs. Despite these measures, dog breeding in the Philippines remains largely unregulated. Anyone with a male and female dog can breed and sell puppies, often without oversight or accountability.
Sa experience ko, alam mo, marami diyan akala nila simple lang yung breeding. Na basta ito babaeng aso, ito lalaking aso, pagka nagkasta, mabubuntis, ganyan. Akala nila ganun lang kasimple. Pero in my experience, alam mo, marami rin talagang mga pagkakamali sa ganyan. They don't think about kung ano ba yung minimix nilang breed ng mga aso. Meron dati mga tumatawag sa amin, hindi nila alam gagawin dun sa mga naging anak nung pinag-breed nila kasi parang mga baliw. Alam mo yun, parang may mga, may diferensya. Yung mga aso, parang hindi makaintindi, hindi tugma yung mga ipin, hindi tugma yung jaw, mali yung masyado maigsi yung mga paa, yung gano'n ba. Kasi kasi nga ang akala ng tao gano'n lang kasimple. Maraming nag-aakala na gano'n lang kasimple yung pagbi-breed. Pero hindi po gano'n yun. Siguro kaya rin pumapasok yung regulation sa breeding. It's because may tama din talagang proseso. Pangalawa, pagka nanganak na at hindi naman naibenta lahat nung mga tuta, ang nangyayari dumadami lang din ang dumadami yung nagiging alaga. Hanggang sa umabot sa punto na hindi na nila kaya, hindi na nila alam kung anong gagawin nila sa dami ng mga aso. Tsaka yung, the fact na ginagawa natin parang negosyo na 'to, yung buhay ng mga hayop, pati na rin yung buhay nung pinakananay na taon-taon na lang buntis, ganyan. Ang daming abuse na nangyayari na nakikita namin na talagang minsan yung isang nanay halos ano na, hindi na makawalmi, wala na, nakakulong na lang. Dahil nga kailangan buntis or nag-aalaga ng mga tuta habang hindi pa naibebenta. Parang na kumbaga parang naisasantabi na yung welfare nung mga hayop, nung mga aso. So, bakit pa ba natin kailangan mag-breed? Yung iba ginagawa kasi ano, um, tawag dito, ibebenta mo magkano ang halaga ng aso, 5,000, 2,000, 10,000, higit pa. Pero maya-maya naman namamatay rin yung mga aso, yung mga tutang binibili nila kasi nga tulad ng sabi mo unregulated. Ang hayop ginawang negosyo, ang welfare talagang hindi siya priority. Ang priority yung paggawa ng pera, yung profit. So, hindi naman ang itinuturo nga natin is pagmamahal para sa mga hayop. Yung tamang pagmamahal, hindi yung para bang ang tingin sa kanila ay commodity na pwede nating kontrolin, pwede nating pagkakitaan.
Lawyer Ana Cabrera, chief attorney of PAWS, compares the Philippines' lax breeding environment to a stricter system in other countries.
In advanced countries like Switzerland, they don't even allow you to breed unless you have a license and that you commit na lahat ng papa-adopt mong dogs will be fixed because a regular person cannot be getting a dog that is sexually intact and capable of reproduction. Because if that person can only take care of one dog, and then she has to prove financial capacity in order to get a dog, a certain type of dog from a breeder. I know this because one of our doctor dogs is a Bernese Mountain Dog that came from Switzerland, and the owner told me na in Switzerland we had to do this to prove that we can before they allowed us to adopt, and the breeder himself also was not allowed to give out puppies that were still capable of reproduction. So we need to have those laws in place para we can stop or end pet homelessness or maraming strays. Kasi dyan ang dami strays, kawawa, nasagasaan, na pinukpok kasi nainis na yung mga tao in the area because ang dami-dami nangahabol, nagpupup sa street. It's all heading back to the pet overpopulation problem. And so we want to have a handle on the pet overpopulation and put that in the law as well.
More issues that stem from overpopulation of pets and stray animals is the impounding of dogs and the euthanasia of pets.
It goes back to the law again. Kasi there is another law, the Anti-Rabies Act or the Anti-Rabies Law of the Philippines. It gives power to pounds that are under the city or municipal veterinary office to impound dogs. Kasi nga, merong batas yung anti-rabies law na yan na nagsasabi na lahat ng stray or free roaming dogs, kailangan hulihin kasi nagkakalat sila ng rabies. And rabies is real. Talagang merong rabies at may mga namamatay na tao sa rabies. Ang rabies, it's a virus na kapag tinamaan ka niyan, patay ka sigurado. Walang gamot sa rabies. So, mandated naman yan nung law na yun. Ngayon, I can understand why there are cities or municipalities that that are very active with impounding dogs. Kasi nire-report yan eh. Bawat municipal, bawat city, ilan ang kaso ng rabies sa'yo per month or per year. And then kapag nakikita ng mataas, sasabihan sila na be more active sa impounding ng dogs. Be more active sa pagbibigay ng anti-rabies vaccine sa mga dogs. Kasi libre lang din yan. Nandun yan sa batas na ang anti-rabies vaccine ay libre. Kung pupunta ka sa city vet or municipal vet, dala mo dun yung aso mo, dapat makunahan nila yung aso mo ng libre. Or nagbabara-barangay sila na sila mismo yung pumunta sa mga barangay para magbakuna. Babalik tayo ulit dun sa sa adopt don't shop eh. Kasi actually, nagmumukhang masama yung mga city vet, yung mga nandyan sa gobyerno na yan. Dahil yun yung ginagawa nila. Hinuhuli nila yung aso tapos ni-euthanize din pag walang nag-claim. Di ba? Para naman kayong mga walang puso, kayong mga nasa city vet's office na yan, kayong mga nasa city pound. Para kayong mga walang puso na huhulihin nyo yung mga aso tapos papatayin nyo rin. This is happening all over the world. Buong mundo nangyayari ito. Sa buong mundo may impounding ng mga aso. And who really is to blame? If you ask me, I blame the breeders. Sila ang may kasalanan kung bakit may mga mercy killing na mga aso sa mga pound. Dahil breed ng breed ng breed, walang pakialam sa sa reality.
But Sevilla also recognized that some pounds do not comply with the standards under the law, leading to poor conditions and inhumane treatment of animals under their care.
Sobrang dami ko ng mga napuntahang mga pound na talagang siguro wala miski isa yung pumasa sa standard na gugustuhin ko for a pound. Siguro, actually, hindi lang yung gugustuhin ko pero yung nag-a-adhere din dun sa law na ginawa para sa mga pound. 'Di ba? Yung catching, very traumatic, yung tawag dito, yung sasakyan na tabi magkakasama yung mga aso. So, kung may sakit yung isa, nahawa na lahat. Kung mag kung kumbaga may puwedeng mag-away. Tapos pagdating sa pound, ang mga kulungan rin, parang substandard din, yung hindi talaga maganda. And then kung titignan mo meron bang tubig, meron bang pagkain, minsan or kadalasan wala din. Nakakaawa talaga. Yun nga, dapat ayusin din talaga nung mga pound yung facility nila. Kasi talagang I know, ang sinasabi nila lagi walang budget, ganyan. Pero panahon na talaga para budgetan 'yan, bigyan natin ng budget 'yan. Kasi ayan, katulad ngayon, nasisilip na kayo eh. Marami ng mga animal welfare advocates, 'di ba? Itaas na rin naman natin yung standard natin para sa mga ganyan. Totoo yun na talagang substandard yung mga pounds, karamihan ng mga pounds dito sa'tin. Hindi lang yun, pati yung euthanasia, yung method of euthanasia, I hope sinusunod nila yung protocol, yung SOP sa pag-euthanize. Kasi maraming hindi alam ko maraming hindi sumusunod diyan na may gumagamit pa rin ng electrocution, tambucho, ganyan. Dapat yung tamang paraan lang din.
Cabrera said that animal control has to be pro animal welfare, but animal welfare measures are also tempered by animal control.
the pound should be compliant with the Animal Welfare Act. If you put the dog in a pound, you should make sure it has water, food, it's clean, it's not nakababad sa ilalim ng init ng araw where the dog could die of ano. Kasi the reason why we file against the pounds is not because we're against the cruelty if they don't adhere to animal welfare measures in the way that they do their job. But if they do their job, like they catch, okay, they catch, and then they did it humanely. They have a pound which is run humanely. If the dogs or cats are unclaimed, then they are euthanizing the animal using sodium pentobarbital injected by an S2 licensed veterinarian. Then, yeah, that's legal. That's, it's sad, but animal welfare groups would be like sad about it, and we will continue to campaign for kapon, spay neuter, responsible pet ownership. But we will not file against a pound who will do that because that's their job. The reason why most pounds are under fire right now is because they don't do their jobs in accordance with the Animal Welfare Act. So, ayun. So, I guess it's really, we also have to learn as animal welfare advocates what is illegal and what's legal. Kasi now, people are surprised. There are some posts now na, kahit pala neutered, pwedeng hulihin. Kahit vaccinated, pwedeng hulihin. Yeah, if you read the Anti-Rabies Act, yes, there's stray dog that doesn't have an owner. If they get complaints from the general public that they're already a risk to public health, the local government unit will enforce its police powers kasi the police powers of the local government come in if ang tinatalo mo na is public health issue. And so hindi yan mata-trump ng, whatever we may be asking for, like sympathy for the animals. So we always campaign at PAWS na, we have to be responsible, we have to do spay neuter, and then we have to publicize these numbers of how many are euthanized in pounds para mas maging seryoso yung mga tao. Kasi ngayon ang ginagawa nila, okay, itago natin lahat ng mga pounds. Hindi kami nag-euthanize, which is really not so, that's not really possible for pounds. Kasi dogs live a long time. How do we know? Kasi we run a shelter. We don't put down any of the animals in the shelter, and unless of course they're may mga sakit. We're fighting a huge problem, and it can't be na we are going at it in the manner na we're defeating ourselves by not spaying and neutering the animals, or mga iba, they're just hoarding the animals, and they're actually killing the very animals that they tried to save kasi they don't have vaccination, vet care for the animals, so namamatay din lang with the distemper. So it really has to change. There's a lot of things, but we also recognize that there are a lot of animal welfare groups that are doing this solo rescuing, but there has to be a limit to what they can do or cannot do also, and the government has got to also help fund for some of the efforts of animal welfare groups.
If you ask me, maganda talaga yung mga batas natin. Implementation lang talaga. And I think dapat talaga ang pinaka-solusyon dito is ma-normalize yung pagkakapon. Kasi ang dali-daling i-criticize ng pound. Ang dali-daling i-criticize ng gobyerno, ng city government's office or ng mga municipal vet's office. Ang dali natin silang i-criticize or makita yung mga pagkukulang nila or mga maling ginagawa nila. Pero tayo, parang, do we really contribute to, to ending this problem? Or we are just another big mouth or keyboard warrior? Kumbaga, galit ka sa pound, ano ba yan? Hinuli yung aso, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Tapos papatayin. Pero ang mga aso mo, binili mo. May lahi. Hindi ka naka-contribute sa solution na hindi ganyan. Dapat nag-a-adapt tayo. Nag-a-adapt tayo ng mga rescued animals. Nagpupunta tayo sa mga shelter, katulad niyang PAWS, or sa amin, yung Ampon Alaga. Mag-aampon tayo. bibigyan natin ng tsansa na magkaroon ng magandang buhay yung mga rescued animals. Hindi yung puro criticism lang ang binibigay natin pero we don't contribute to the solution.
As long as unregulated breeding continues and purebreds remain the preference, the cycle of abandonment and neglect will persist. The key, animal welfare groups say, is to recognize adoption as the first option and to legislate responsibly around pet ownership. Want to learn more about animal rights in the Philippines? Check out our related episode on animal cruelty cases and the challenges to prosecuting animal abusers. We'll leave the link for you in the show notes. Again, I'm Jen Garcia. If you find these conversations insightful, please share them with a friend or two. Subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. This episode was edited by Anthony Tobias and produced by Consuelo Marquez. J. Mark Tordesillas is our editor at large. Thank you for listening.